Okay, Eric, this is Dennis. I'm going to go over your swing lesson from today and point out a couple things that I think we made a lot of progress for you already. Um, and I want you to write yourself a reminder of the word grip. And I'm not exaggerating a bit when I say that. I want to make sure you take a club in your office or your house and just put your hands on it, several times a day in that new position. Because when I look at that, the view from here, I should be seeing, most of the logo of your glove. So that's better, certainly, than we were, but it's still not too strong. The only time you'll know your grip is too strong is if you actually start to hook the ball. And I know you haven't done that. The other thing I want to point out is both hands are going to move to the right, and keep the club in your fingers. I want you to feel it, with the much more, 80%, 75% in your fingers, not your hands, not your palms, because that's going to make it harder for you to what we call release the club. So if you can remember the grip, we're really going to be ahead of the game here. Now, because of the grip, you've always hit a slice. So instead of rotating your body, what you tend to do is lift your body. See, let's say where your, let me say, where your arm is. It's kind of way up here. It should be kind of like across your chest. And this is getting into more of the mechanics of your swing. Today, I just wanted you to really spend the morning getting used to a new grip and learning to what we call release the club. That's that roll of your hands that I was giving it to you. And now tomorrow I'm going to work on a little bit more of the dynamics, but it's if I go from here down to here, you'll see what happens here. And that right there is typical of a slicer. I see it all day, every day. Common sense would explain why, right? Because whenever you've played golf, however long you've played golf, even though you play not very often, you had to swing over here to try to stop the ball from going over there, right? So it's like snowball rolling down the hill. You get a bad grip, you get an upright backswing, and ball. You cut across the ball, it goes to the left, then you swing more left, and it goes to the right, and then you swing more left, and it goes more right. So, we're in a rabbit hole there. So we've got to spend as much time as we can this week getting you to feel an inside approach to the ball and using your hands to hit it, and that would be the grip. Big red letters here for you, bud. If we can get that left hand stronger, and I'm going to really, if you were to get in touch with me a month from now and saying, hey, coach, everything I'm doing is going like this, then maybe I could neutralize it. But I wouldn't do it too soon, because we'll never get rid of this over the top stuff if that ball keeps curving to the right. On a 1 to 10 scale, that's about 11 outside in. So we're going to try to get that back more coming from in here, and that's our whole goal for the week. And it's not, see that, there you go. Look where your swing is, and look where the ball went. That's so typical of slicing. That's why good golfers, what I learned as a kid was to get a strong grip. It's the exact opposite of what you got, is to put your hands way over to the right. And that made me hook the ball, kind of the opposite of what you're doing. I started out doing this stuff, That was my ball flight when I was a kid. But what did that teach me? It taught me to swing from inside the ball. Then I modified the grip, and I had the inside path to the ball, as all good golfers do. Higher handicap and poor golfers tend to swing from outside the ball, and that's a power outage and a very unpredictable result. All right, so that's it, man. The grip. Oh, I think I want to mention one more thing here. I think we narrowed your stance, did we not? But you had some real good success today. Still a little bit more in your palms than I want. I'd love to get it more in your fingers. Okay, better turn. And there's what we're trying to get rid of here. Watch. Right there, now watch. This may be the only time in your life you're ever going to get compared to Rory McIlroy, so you would enjoy these next few minutes. I want you to watch his hands. Watch the glove hand. See his glove? Gone. Do you see that? That's release. So your goal this week would be to finish with your left palm at the sky and your right palm at the ground. Go pronate and supinate. And you'll get a lot more distance out of it if you can. Let's try that again. Now, okay, let's go over it again. Narrow the stance, club in the fingers, and relaxed. The posture's pretty good. You don't have to make much more of a bend. You're okay there. The turn isn't bad. When you come down, remember, you feel like you drop your hands behind you. Now this one, has more of that release. You see it? That's very different hit. Very different. And that's what we kind of want to get for you this week, so we can get rid of that slice. And if you get rid of that slice permanently, I don't care if you play 6 times a year or 6 times a week, you're going to be grateful that you learned that, because that will save you a lot of poor shots in the future. Better grip, narrower stance, turn into backswing, strive for coming from the inside. I'll give you one more look at the model here. And I'll show you this. I want you to see what inside means. So I have a model here. This would be the great golfer from Spain, Sergio Garcia. Look how far down his arms have come, and he's still got his shoulders turned, his back to the target, chest facing us, all the way down here, and he still hasn't opened his shoulders yet. So he's got to come from where? Inside the ball. Inside the ball. And then back to inside the ball. So that's what it feels like, as opposed to getting up and, kind of spinning your shoulders right out. You're bound to swing it way out over the top. I think you know what I mean by now by over the top, right? Just so you could call it outside in or over the top, whatever. But it would be the same thing. So as you come down, see how early you're unwinding? See how where you are compared to where he was at that point? Yeah, that's my point. So you've got to come outside. But like I said, join the golfing crowd. That's I see this much more than just about every swing, and we could break you that very easily. All right, see you tomorrow.